After being found unconscious in her home, a woman fell into a coma. As the plug was pulled on her life support, her husband leaned down and whispered the truth in her ear. Little did he know, she could hear every word and was about to fight back. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. Lindy Brown Pelletier Swap was only 45 years old when her son Stephen found her unconscious in their Arizona home. He immediately called 911, and Lindy was rushed to Banner Deli Webb Medical Center. For 5 days, Lindy suffered seizures and eventually fell into a coma, where she remained for 12 days, according to Mirror. Lindy's husband Steve, daughter Amanda, and son Stephen hoped for a miracle, but doctors said there was nothing more they could do and recommended taking Lindy off life support. The tough decision was made to pull the plug, honoring what the family thought was Lindy's wishes. My family knows I am an avid organ donor, so when my organs started to fail, they made the decision. It was time to make that decision, Lindy would later explain. As Lindy's family came to say their goodbyes, little did her family know, Lindy heard every word. I remember people talking to me, Lindy recalled. I remember when people came to visit, my niece reading to me. She also remembered the doctors talking about her impending demise, telling the family what to expect as she inevitably passed away. Doctors told my family that I would start to make noises when they turned off life support. It was very agitating. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, couldn't respond. I could just hear conversations around me and about me, Lindy said. I remember a doctor opening my eyes, messing with me, and telling my family I was not reacting. Lindy knew she had to speak up in order to save her own life, but she tried and failed. In my head, it was very clear what I was saying, but it wasn't to them, she explained. Then she found all the motivation she needed in the words her husband leaned down and whispered in her ear, thinking she was about to leave this life. They removed all tubes, as he requested, she recalled, adding that a doctor was waiting to pronounce her dead while an organ donation team was on standby, ready to take her organs. But her husband, Steve, wasn't ready for his wife to leave him. In a whisper, Steve pleaded with Lindy, reminding her of a reality she was about to make everyone else aware of. After 12 days in a coma, Lindy woke up, uttering 3 words that surprised her entire family. "I'm a fighter," she managed to respond after Steve had spoken that very truth in her ear. "I was finally able to get out. I'm a fighter, which is what my husband was whispering in my ear," Lindy said, recalling the moment she woke up from her coma after being taken off life support, according to Daily Mail. "He kept saying, 'I need you to fight.'" Stunned, Steve quickly went to get the doctor. "My husband said she is doing everything you said she wouldn't do," Lindy recalled. Indeed, against all odds and medical predictions, Lindy was back, awake, and responding, Arizona family reported. But not realizing what was happening, Amanda came to the hospital, thinking her mother was gone. "I looked at her and she just says hi, and I just fell to my knees," Amanda recalled tearfully, describing how she melted down after receiving the shock of her life. Lindy eventually left the hospital, but she wasn't out of the woods. Despite her amazing recovery, she suffered a number of health problems and complications. Lindy even had to learn to walk and feed herself again. "They released me with home health care to continue learning everything," she said. She also required numerous follow-up surgeries and hospitalizations, and she suffered PTSD from the experience. Almost 2 years later, Lindy Brown Pelletier Swap still had no answers as to why she first fell unconscious or how she made such a recovery. But there was one thing she was certain of that she needed others to know too. "Just because you are not conscious does not mean you cannot hear," she said. "So you should talk to your loved ones if you are in that situation. They hear you." The experience also left her family with an important message for others too. Everything can be taken away. You can wake up one day and everything is fine, and then your life is a mess, Lindy's son Stephen said. "Keep your family close and don't let them go," he added. "I don't take for granted that I get to come home and kiss my mom," Stephen continued. "Every day I come home from work seeing her and talking to her. Go hug your loved ones and remind others to do the same because you never know when it could be your last chance."